Tonight's big story. He is one of America's most notorious serial killers, Ted Bundy. And he confessed to killing 2 women right here in Idaho.
That's right. Before Bundy was executed, an Idaho investigator sat down face to face with the murderer. And now, 25 years later, he opens up about what that killer told him. Fox 9's Lacey Darrow has this Fox 9 exclusive.
In the 1970s, Ted Bundy is believed to have murdered dozens of women and girls all across the country. He decapitated at least 12 of his victims, escaped twice from jail, and killed even more women while on the run. In fact, his own attorney reportedly called him, quote, the definition of heartless evil. Bundy was sentenced to death and died in a Florida electric chair in 1989. But before he was executed, he confessed to killing some 30 people, including 2 right here in Idaho.
Absolutely horrified that I was capable of doing something like that.
I think he stands out because of his methods.
Back then, Russ Renault was a seasoned investigator with the Idaho Attorney General's office.
It was the first time I'd ever been invited by a serial killer himself to come talk with him.
So Renault flew to Florida and sat down with Bundy at the prison where he was being held.
It was clear that he was fatigued. I saw signs of stress. And through all of that, he was polite and actually amiable.
To have been possessed by something so awful and so alien.
Bundy gave precise details on how he raped and murdered 12-year-old Lynette Culver of Pocatello 14 years earlier. Details police say only her killer would have known.
In spite of his friendly persona, it was clear to me that we were dealing with an evil, truly evil man.
Bundy also claimed he murdered a woman outside Boise he found hitchhiking along a highway, but gave only sketchy information about the killing. No missing person report matched his supposed victim, nor was a body ever found.
Did he fabricate it? I'm not sure. Or was he simply withholding information in the hope that we would extend his life? I've never been able to resolve that in my mind over the years.
Still, the interview gave Renault a chilling insight into the mind of a deceiving, sadistic sociopath.
I was expecting someone that I could read better. He was not nervous at all during the interview I had with him. Much different than any other homicide suspect I've ever interviewed.
In the end, with the Lynette Culver murder, a murder Renault believes Bundy actually committed,
I felt like what we came away from out of that interview was able to bring closure to one Idaho family. That is always a good outcome.
Lacey Darrow reporting there, and Renault has been retired for a number of years. Hope he learned enough to be able to stop this from happening in the future.
He said he actually watched news coverage of Bundy's execution on television, but he's now pretty much put that case behind him. And wouldn't you have to?
You'd have to.